Husband, mom, sons, grandparents, these people can be hard to buy for. We are going to dive into how to find gifts for anyone, and you are going to love the last tip. So thanks to True Earth for sponsoring this video. Now, if we've never met before, my name is Robyn. I help you create a simpler life and overcome those decluttering roadblocks. Now, first, why are so many people so hard to buy for? Some people, they don't leave a lot of clues. I am looking at you men. I have a husband and 3 sons to buy for, and as those kids get older, it gets harder. I will end up getting either the same thing every year or something that just feels lame, and that just makes me feel sad. My mom, God love her, is so much easier to buy for, but there's only one of her. On the other side, it does not help that my husband and one of my kids, their love language is gift giving, which means there's a lot of pressure, but I have the solution. If you buy a gift in any of the following 3 categories, you are golden. First, what you need to do, grab a cup of tea. This is First Frost by Murchie's, and I absolutely love it. Not sponsored. Ignore the mess in the background because this is real life, and I did not clean the kitchen yet. So what we're going to do is ask yourself the following 3 questions. The first, do I know what they want? The second, do I know what their problems are? Aside from the obvious, obviously. And the third question, am I desperate? Now, the first one can be a bit challenging at times. I mean, we've already gone over how hard men can be to shop for. What we're gonna do is give people what they want. Well, that's easy to say, but how do we know what gifts somebody even wants? Now, I will admit this is much easier in the case of children because they will happily create a long list if you even hint that you need a list. However, for adults, we need to pay attention pretty much year round, and this can be a bit of a challenge. Now, I am sneaky and I have a list on my phone of the things that people show interest in throughout the year. It could be January and they could be like, I love furry Highland cows, and I will write that in my phone so I can later in the year, if I just come across like a furry Highland cow, I can buy that sucker. So you can always ask, which I mean is going to take a bit of the shine off of like surprising them with like the best gift ever. But when we give someone something that they really want, it is so nice, and you literally feel like you have just hit it right out of the park, and you will feel like a superstar. So how do we do that? Ask them this question. If I could wave a magic wand and you could have anything, what would it be? Okay, so they might say an island in the South Pacific, but that might be hard, right? However, maybe not. Perhaps they would love it if you just created like a special luau night, like a little grass skirt, some Hawaiian rice. I don't know, just something. Be creative. Or you could ask this. If a magic genie were to give you a gift that was $1 million, $500, or $1,000, what would each gift be? Maybe it's a new watch, maybe an Apple Watch, or some of us who are cool and we're moving back to the old analog watch. Maybe a book they've always wanted. How about a camera? Maybe they've wanted to learn photography forever, or a digital photo frame to put pictures of their kids or their grandparents or they're traveling in. Or for kids, Lego is really a great tip for almost every age. Literally, we just bought a new Lego set and our youngest is 14, and I just bought it for myself. Now, if that sounds like a challenge, fear not, because I have 2 more things that can help you find the perfect gift. The next is useful gifts. And what the heck does that mean? These are gifts that will have somebody saying, oh my gosh, I need this. If you have somebody in your life who has a lot of hobbies, this is going to be your bread and butter, and consider yourself very lucky. Now, for me, I garden and I like to cook. And if someone were to pay attention, they would know that I might be interested in a new garden fence. Okay, that might be a bit much, but just pay attention to what your family members or friends are really interested in. Beware, because there's a reason that so many men end up with golf ties, golf tees, golf paperweights, and more. We need to be aware of what they have and what they need. So in this category, we are solving a problem. So ask yourself, what do they complain about? What do they spend time on that they might not want to spend so much time on? Do they always complain that their tea is too cold? Then you could get them an ember mug like this, which can keep it hot for like an hour and a half. Give tools. Now, one of my favorite things for me, as a person who loves a lot of tea, is I got this kettle just because I love this thing. It was so great. I'm trying to go down to 4. It's supposed to be 3 cups a day, but anyway. And my husband drinks a lot of tea too. And what's great is that this sucker holds 3 liters of boiling water, and that solved our problem because I can also have it set so that it's already boiled when I get up. Now, can you imagine anything more perfect than having your hot drink almost immediately after you get up? No, that solves that problem. Your teen, maybe they play guitar. I clearly don't, like my son, and they want a whole lot of guitar strings or a guitar stand. Another great thing for teens is clothes and things that they can go to the mall to buy. I think could be clothes of any kind, but just be sure that they need/want them. Young kids are probably not going to find as much value in useful gifts though. Just as an FYI, this might make them very angry. Okay, now I am saving the easiest and best for last. Let me tell you a little story. Now, one year, my mom, who is really good at giving gifts, I might add, sometimes they're surprising. One year she gave me a mattress pad. I was a little bit confused by that, but we needed one. Like, she's very thoughtful with her gifts. She's good. Anyway, one year, she gives my husband a box of salami. Now, I know you're thinking, a box of salami? And that's exactly what we thought. But it was strange, yes. Genius, yes. She gave him something that he could use. He could consume it, and he enjoyed it. We all enjoyed it. I'm talking consumables, food, and experiences. And this is for when you are just desperate or you just want to give like a super awesome gift. Let me explain more. Now, I have a friend who took her kids to the majestic city of Vancouver. Yes, Vancouver. As a Christmas present. I'm sure she gave them a couple of other things, but she gave them an experience. Something that caused no clutter, something that they could enjoy as a family, create memories, and it's fun and completely unexpected. How about movie tickets? One year, my friend gave me concert tickets to see a band in Vancouver years ago. The band was Incubus. What a super fun gift. Totally unusual and very memorable. You could do that for anybody in your family. How about consumables like bath bombs? It's not like a bunch of body washes that are just gonna sit in your cupboard. What I love about bath bombs, they're one and done. You throw them in the bathtub, you're like, this is fun, oh my gosh, it's like dissolving and it smells really good. And then it's gone. That's so good. And then you can throw them in the stockings with your True Earth laundry strips. Chocolate. Has there ever been a better gift that has ever existed? A more perfect gift? No, there has not. This is a 5-pound box of chocolates called Almost Perfects. And I buy them from this company, Purdy's, which is a Canadian company, every year. You need to buy them in like the beginning of October because I think they take them off of sale later in the year because they probably just want people to like understandably buy full price chocolates. But anyway, it's random. And I have to admit, there's quite a lot of caramels in it this year. Now, my husband has a bit of a chocolate addiction. So I did open it to assess what was inside. And then I taped it closed and I wrote, "You'll regret opening this," so that he doesn't open it again. But this really helps because I can put this in other gifts. I can wrap this up. I can do all sorts of things with this. Chocolate, perfect. Tea. If you give me tea, we will forever be friends. You can even combine consumables like wine and painting in a night, like a painting wine night, or a pizza making kit, or a class for teens and kids. Maybe your husband wants to try like a whiskey taking night or a beer flight or something, or a men's group experience. Hello and welcome back, all of my minimalist babes. Today we are going to chat about Christmas gift giving. So we give gifts to people to show our appreciation for them, to show them that we love them, but they can also come with some baggage, which is clutter. And clutter is not something that you want to be giving people, and it just stresses people out even if they don't realize it. So we are going to go through 4 categories of the gift giving. We're going to tackle what to give acquaintances, adult, family, and friends, your kids and other people's kids. And number 4, your spouse or other significant people in your life. And as a bonus, I'm going to tell you what is on my Christmas wish list and why it shouldn't add clutter, and it might even be helpful. Next week, I am tackling stockings. So you are going to want to hit subscribe because stockings can be one hard thing to buy for. So when we're deciding to give gifts, it's really great if you can get something that's meaningful and that adds value to someone's life. And I really love to give consumables or experiences and a few other things as well. So acquaintances like teachers, your mailman, anybody who you really appreciate, you just don't know that much about them. And you might not really know what they're into. For me, I really like tea and I love giving tea. I like to give David's tea. You can get some pretty inexpensive teas there. You can also get some great inexpensive teas from the grocery store if you like. You can get some good little sample packs from David's tea, which I really like. I wish I could drink coffee. I could just have sips every now and then. This is a delicious coffee from Hawaii that my sister-in-law got us, and it smells amazing. If you could get something like this, you can get stuff like this at the grocery store. You could get a Starbucks pound. You could get even McDonald's, Tim Hortons. Great stuff to give to people. And it just reminds them, you know, like if it's a teacher or something, they can pretend that they're sitting in Paris drinking a delicious coffee on a nice terrace instead of maybe watching Peppa Pig or something like that. Another great consumable would be like some baked goods in a nice little tin. You can get these anywhere, and what's nice is it's not really adding clutter usually because either they can re-gift them to others or they can use them to store their own baked goods in, which I do. One year for my kids' teachers, we took a jar and we made our own homemade hot chocolate mix. And of course, you know, last but not least, if you don't know somebody well enough at all, you can give them like a gift card. This is a Tim Hortons gift card or Starbucks. Teachers, I think that the last thing they want is maybe like another mug. And we definitely want to show them the appreciation because, man, I am so glad I'm not a teacher. Especially this year because I'm homeschooling my kids, which is also the last year I'm homeschooling my kids. So for friends and family, now again, we're gonna look to be adding value to their lives. And again, I really like to give consumables. Now you can always give caffeine, like tea or coffee. You can give a nice wine, some other kind of alcohol. I, every year, make my family a gift basket. I make a gift basket for my mom, my grandparents, and my mother-in-law. And I always I put in a nice cheese. So this is like the Boursin, which is like a yummy little kind of cream cheese with some flavor, some fancy crackers, a couple things of fancy crackers. This is a lingonberry jam, a little tin with some baked goods, and if you have a lot of David's tea tins like this, like I do, I take it and I make some, I can't help but just smell those cookies, the vanilla krantz cookies, these delicious little circle rings, and I make these up. Any other circle cookies, put them in there. So instead of like having like tons of these hanging around, because I have quite the David's tea collection, I can use these, re-gift them, and I think they're useful for a lot of things. My kids have stuff filled with them. It's really helpful. And this, let's just pretend that this has candied pecans in it because this is what we give to our family members every year as well. I've got it in a nice bowl. Often I put it in a nice basket, but I think I decluttered my basket because I can sometimes get a little carried away. You can give them a nice bowl if they need it. Otherwise, if they don't, get a basket because they're not going to want that bowl cluttering it up, and they can re-gift the basket. And now friends, what would we do without our friends? Well, you know, every year except for this year because of COVID, my friends and I have a great little gift exchange, which is so fun. And we do the sort of like giving a gift, stealing a gift thing. And there are always great gifts there. And last year I got this wonderful fluffy blanket. It's actually from Chapters, which is a bookstore here in Canada. And it's really soft and fuzzy. And I actually bought one for my son and he just loves it. I use this. If I'm home, it's on me if I'm sitting down. And if I'm at work, can't wait to get home to my blanket. So I like to give gifts that add value and that add meaning, like I said before. So an ornament is great. A travel mug, somebody might need a travel mug, so that's a great gift to give because it's utilitarian, which I love, but also it is something that will remind them of you. Another great idea is this basket that I use whenever I do my shopping or my errands, and I take it with me, and it's great. I take returns with me. I buy things and put them in it. It's awesome to have my basket with me. Now, gift certificates. Again, gift certificates are something that I try to kind of reserve to not give too often. They don't feel as personal, but they can be personal if you're giving a great service. And I would not hesitate to give out a gift card for a portrait, to give out gift cards for somebody to get their hair cut, get a facial, a manicure, anything like that is going to be a great gift that adds value to their lives and they're not having to buy a thing to keep in their house. So kids can be a challenge to buy for. So everything that I'm showing you today, if there is a link, I will put it in the description below. And if it is available on Amazon and it's a good price, I'll put that down there. And if it is on Amazon, it's an affiliate link, which means that it doesn't cost you anymore, but our channel gets a little bit of money, which is very helpful. Now, years ago, my friend Leah gave me some great advice for getting gifts for children. Get something that they want, something that they need, something that they can wear, and something that they can read. So as far as something they want, that will vary by the kids, but there are a couple of things that I think that you can't really go too wrong with depending on the ages. So number one, you can't really go wrong with Lego. It gives you something to step on and it gives your kids something to build. So if they're really little, they can build Duplo, and if they're bigger, they can start their Lego collection. It's a great way to be creative and a great way to pass the time. It's a good gift for kids. Older kids might like video games. They can be very helpful. They actually aren't as bad apparently for kids as long as you supervise them. I think games are a really good thing to get kids, and they don't add a lot of clutter. And when you're done with them, if you have all the pieces, you can sell them or give them away. This is a game actually that my husband and I got years ago, and it's called Ziggity. It's really fun. So I will post a link for that below. This is one that we got last year, and it's called Exploding Kittens. We got it for our kids. It's a card game, really fun game. Again, you know, I'm a big on experiences, so it's good to give kids like some tickets. This year we were supposed to go have so much fun. We were supposed to go see the Pet Shop Boys and New Order, and we were going to take our oldest and our middle boy. Unfortunately, with COVID, that got delayed. I really hope that they make it next year. My friend last year, her and her husband, they brought their kids over to Vancouver. They had a great time. They went in like January. You wouldn't think they'd have fun, but they went to Science World. They went to the Vancouver Aquarium. They did all sorts of fun stuff. Doesn't hurt to get the movie tickets, even just like a gift card to Tim Hortons or McDonald's or something. That's fun for them to have that money. Now, as far as something that they need, this is a great thing that you can teach your kids about the utilitarianism of gifts and how sometimes we get things that we need and it's actually kind of useful. I personally love getting gifts that I need. I know a lot of kids need ambition, but hey, all right. So you'll probably have a better idea of what your kids need than I do, but a couple of examples would be like some sporting equipment, depending on what you and your family do. If you actually like do skiing, you can get them stuff for skiing or skating, or even like a little scooter, a baseball glove, a baseball, a basketball hoop, like the list could go on. And now something that they can wear. Now, if you are the parent of a teenage girl, now this is a gift to you because you can get clothes that aren't that revealing. One of the things that I was thinking about for my kids this year was to go onto the Vans website and you can actually personalize shoes for your kids. And I know my son kind of had his eye on some Simpson shoes. So I was thinking this might be a good idea for him. It's also great to give them some sweaters. Kids are always needing sweaters. They're always growing. And in my family, we always give pajamas under the Christmas tree on Christmas Eve, which is good because I don't know how, but my son Oliver always gets holes in his knees. The last topic for kids is something that they can read. So like, well, almost dropped that. Holes. This is a good book. And then Captain Underpants. This is a series that my son really liked. When my kids were younger, they really liked a lot of the Arthur books, the Geronimo Stilton. When they were even younger than that, there's some great books about pirates. I think it's called My Pirate is a Babysitter. I'll put it on the screen and then I'll link it below. The Harry Potter series is wonderful. And a great way to find out what is an appropriate thing to give your kids, head to the bookstore and talk to the people there. They will have some good ideas. And before I get to my wish list, I'll just quickly go over the spouse. Now, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever, your significant other, they can be a real challenge to buy for too sometimes, but really if you just look to, there's a couple of great ideas. Again, you think about how can I add value with the gift I'm giving. One example of what I'm giving my husband this year, which I think he'll like it, is this is his old tape measure. It's all rusty. We let it get wet and then we didn't dry it properly. So I got him a new one, which is great. It has both metric and standard, which like I'm shocked this one doesn't, but it's very handy. Something that they can read would be great. And again, we're hoping to not add a lot of clutter, right? So I have this Kindle that I asked for my mom last year. And it's great. It comes with this little case, which I like. You can get all sorts of e-readers. I happen to just like the Kindle. And what's great, there's a lot of awesome books that I've read this last year. I'll link them all below. What's nice is this does not add any clutter and you can download something quickly, read it. Can't remember which one this is, but you can actually make it so that it's got a black background. So if my husband's sleeping, it's not like super bright. I can adjust the brightness. I can adjust the font, the size, everything. I love this little Kindle. I think this is a great gift for anybody, especially a spouse. You want to assess what do they need aside from you. My mom always said, don't ever buy art for anybody. And I think that is really good advice. So I think the only person you really could buy it for would be your spouse because you probably have a pretty good idea of their taste. I got my husband a cute little Volkswagen picture, but it was painted by a local artist. They're called West Coast Kitsch and they have an Etsy store, which is wonderful. And they will do anything customized you want also, which is handy. Here's another one that I'm looking at for Etsy. I probably would do this next year because I kind of left it a little late, but it's a picture of a family and you can personalize it down to your animals, everything. It's super cool. Now my wish list. Okay, so some of it's a little inexpensive, some of it's a little more. Wait, no, I don't think any of it's inexpensive. No, wait, one of them is, sort of. I've heard really good things about the iRobot vacuum that goes around and cleans up everything. It sounds divine. You can just sit there drinking your tea and your robot is vacuuming up and cleaning up your floor. And apparently they do really well. And yes, I actually do consider that sort of thing would be a gift to me because I just like that sort of thing. I'm not saying that every woman wants stuff to do with cleaning or cooking. Those are just my personal preferences. The other thing, and I'm going to link this below, is the air fryer lid for the Instant Pot. Oh, I have wanted an air fryer for a long time, but I just didn't want to add another appliance to my kitchen. So this is like something that would take up a little bit of space, but what's great is it's just another lid for the Instant Pot. So it's not going to be like a whole other appliance, and then I can still air fry my food. And apparently they get some pretty good results. So that is definitely on my list. And the one thing that isn't that expensive is a cookbook. I've heard such awesome things about this Skinny Taste cookbook. This lady apparently has some fantastic recipes. So this is definitely on my list and I hope to get it. So gift shopping can be one of the hardest things about the holiday season and Christmas, but it doesn't have to be. And even if you are last minute gift shopping, this gift that I'm going to tell you about is one of the very best gifts that you can give. Even if you have somebody who's very hard to buy for, like grandparents, in-laws, most adults can be kind of hard to buy for. This is especially good for adults. So I am talking about gift baskets. Before you click off, no, gift baskets are amazing because they can be customized to someone's taste and they can actually be really easy because you can usually find little things to put in the basket. We are going to make a gift basket for my grandparents, but also I'm going to explain some great gift ideas for other people who aren't grandparents but may still really love a gift basket. Now let's talk about the vessel. So I always used to give a basket when I was making a gift basket, and I would buy a basket every year from Michael's and put, things in it. And then I realized that is just adding to clutter. And really every year people aren't like, I want more and more baskets. Instead, they might want something else or something they can just return to me because sometimes they return the baskets. And I was like, well, now I have all these baskets. So I really like these sort of like net bags. So this is a really fun This actually has my grocery reusable bags in it, but this is a really fun little thing to put things in because you can see through it. It's kind of like vintage. You're going to see this at a market in France. Of course, I have like David's tea. You know, I love David's tea. This is a really good bag just to put things in as well. Because depending on the amount of things you're giving, and then this is a reusable bag, either they can use or they can return to you. This is one that I have used to put things in for my husband. I got it at a store in Victoria called the Root Cellar, and they have funny little things on it. And this one isn't as big, which is great. And if it's full, it feels like a really skookum gift. And I really like this one. So next, let's talk gift categories. The categories that I think do really well in gift baskets, number one, are edible things. You can go to the store and buy a number of edible things. Edible gifts are like the best place to start. Even if you were going to give one with a bunch of like toiletries or spa-like items, you would still maybe want to put in like a little bag of chocolates. So in a minute, I'm gonna make up a gift basket for my grandparents that I give them every year because they are really hard to buy for because they have had everything. They actually just downsized their house. So they literally do not want a bunch of clutter. Nobody probably does, but digestive cookies, that's a fun one, especially if it's something international, which this is for us, McVitie's. Those are good. And like wine gum. So candy is a really great thing. My grandpa loves these. Like for me, I love these Smart Sweets. These are really good because they are not full of sugar, and I don't want a ton of sugar, so I like these. Just be careful who you give them to because they might be like, what are you trying to say? I just love these though, and I love the new like Coke bottle flavor. Oh my gosh. It would also be nice if you included some things that were like a little healthier. So these are young coconut pieces. They're delicious. They do have sugar added to them. There is some natural sugar as well, but they're really, really yummy. So this will be a nice addition to a basket. And of course, nuts. Nuts are really good because it's not super sugary. They have that little bit of fattiness, little tiny bit of protein, I think. Yeah, not a bad amount of protein. Now, another thing you can do is also put in like some meat, like salami is really good. Of course, know your audience, because I know my vegan friends would not like that. So some meat and some cheese would be a really nice thing. And of course, to go with your meat and cheese, you're going to want some crackers or something like that. I also love to put in some antipasto. Some other kind of briny, sour thing like that is a really good thing to put in your gift basket. It's also really nice to put in like a drink. So this is it's called Silly Cow, and it is a hot chocolate mix. It's really good. I like to put this in my kids' stockings, but I also have given this to adults before too, and they really like it. So the thing about gift baskets is they are good for anybody, even like a young man who can be kind of hard to buy for. These are good. I mean, even if they're like 22 and you give them like a little bit of chocolates and a little bit of candies and hot chocolate mix or like some kind of liquor mix, they might like that too. And of course, you can't go wrong with just like straight up chocolate. Like these are After Eights. My husband loves After Eights, so they are a really good thing to go in a gift basket as well. And I also love to give homemade things. So one of my favorite homemade things to give is cookies. And I have these tins left over from David's Tea. You know I love David's Tea. And if you want to buy some, click the link below. Helps out my channel. But I loved them before I was an affiliate for them. These are great because they are cylindrical. This actually has matcha tea in it. They're perfect for like the round cookies. So I actually ended up decluttering like a ton of these tins. That is normally how I give cookies, which is fine. So funny enough, I had some cookies ready to give to my grandparents because I was visiting them a couple of days ago, and I hid them from my husband because my husband can't be trusted with sweets. He can't control himself. And I hid them. And like always, now I can't find where I hid them because I hid them so well from him, but also from myself. I just found the cookies where I hid them, and I'm going to enjoy some. And one more thing I really love to give that is homemade are these homemade candied pecans. And I just made these the other day, and I always like to include these. They look really pretty in this little jar, and I tuck these into the gift basket as well. They're super easy to make. Let me tell you all about it. Now the recipe I have here in my Christmas control journal, and if you don't know what this is, you can check out my Christmas playlist. I have lots of videos on it. But I start out with 1 cup of pecans, although I did double this recipe. And then I add a 1/4 cup of honey to it. And it's helpful if you slightly grease the measuring cup so that the honey comes out much more easily. Sometimes you have to scrape it a little bit. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. Now, if you don't like it too spicy, add 1/8 of a teaspoon and then add salt. Give it a stir and then pop it in the oven. Roast for about 10 to 12 minutes at 400 degrees. Check it. Sometimes you have to stir it. Just keep an eye on it. Let them cool down a bit when you're done, and then you break them up. And what's really, really nice is these are such a nice homemade thing. So homemade things like these and the cookies are really good in the gift baskets. They add that extra little bit of je ne sais quoi that your family is probably really wanting, especially people who maybe can't cook for themselves or don't. Like definitely my grandparents who are now in their independent living facility. So let's make up their gift basket. So for them, I am going to use this one, I think. They will definitely, my grandma will get a kick out of this bag, let me tell you. So I am going to add some of the nuts, the store-bought nuts. And then these wine gums my grandparents will really, really like. And then these fruit jellies my grandpa really likes. So I'm just packing this away for them. And this cheese, they will love. Salami, the nuts, of course. I really like to give the homemade things. Some of the cookies, and the table water crackers. This will do them. Actually, I'm gonna give them this coconut because I think they're gonna really like it too. And then what I will do is I will just put like a nice little Christmas card at the end, bring it to them at their retirement facility, and they will be thrilled because it is like a homemade thing that grandma used to provide us with, and now I can provide this for her. I also like to tuck in a magazine for my grandma because she loves magazines, and some lip gloss. This is flavored toasted marshmallow, and I know she'll love it. But not only do I give these sort of things to my grandparents, but I do for my mother-in-law. I have for my husband. I made a really, really good one full of candy for him at our anniversary, and he was thrilled.
Candy, 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 candy. Steady yourself, Garfield.
And we also got our son a backpack, filled it with candy for his birthday. We also gave him the backpack as a gift. And I think that was a really good present as well, because he got this like backpack, which was kind of expensive. So it was a little bit of a gift. We didn't want to give too much extra, but we also got candy and other fun things. And I mean, I'm not a huge candy advocate, but for a special occasion like a birthday or Christmas, I think it's a great idea. Another thing, you can do gift baskets for anything. You could do toiletries, you could do beauty products, you could do like something for a gamer, like with junk food and snacks and things like that. You could do all sorts of things. Let me know your favorite things to put in gift baskets and also what some last minute gift ideas you are. Don't you just love all of the clutter that comes after Christmas? You get all these amazing gifts, pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn and plums. All of these amazing gifts, but the problem is you end up surrounded by clutter. Your Christmas tree is, you know, starting to fall apart and you've got stuff everywhere and you're thinking, what am I going to do with this? The problem is we love to give gifts. It's so often that gifts cause clutter though. So we really need to be mindful about the gifts that we give people. We want to give gifts that are helpful, gifts that people want, gifts that don't cause a person stress, and that is clutter. So this is one of the major stresses that my community mentioned in a recent poll was which gifts to give. And I wanted to give you some great ideas for gifts that will not leave your family or friends with clutter. If this is your first time here, my name is Robyn. I help overwhelmed people, maybe like yourself, simplify life through planning, decluttering, and productivity. All right, grab your tea and let's go. One of the top things that people suggested were experience gifts. Now, these are gifts where you are giving tickets for something or you're just doing anything. It could be free. So one of the people said they would love to spend time with the giver. They want to go for coffee out with the person, maybe go for dinner or for lunch, go canoeing, go hiking, go to a concert. A lot of people said the zoo. Actually, once my friend gave me tickets to see Incubus way back in the early 2000s. And her boyfriend and I, we took the ferry, we went over to Vancouver and we watched this concert. Like, isn't that such a great and thoughtful gift. She always gave really thoughtful gifts. Once she gave me a hanging basket, which was, and she had made it. Isn't that lovely? Another one is storm watching. Storm watching on Vancouver Island. A lot of people go to an area called Tofino, which is a really nice area on the west coast of Vancouver Island, and it gets some really cool, intense storms. And the person who suggested this said that they give it for Oregon. So I guess Oregon, I'm assuming all the coasts can have some pretty good storms. And also, I know a great person from Perea Photography. They do storm watching in Arizona and all of that. So you can do storm watching all over the place. Dinner theater. This is one that we gave my grandparents one once. It was a musical. And so they got to go down there. They watched this musical. It was so much fun. You could give tickets for bowling. This would be a great one for kids. Or you could take your friend bowling or whoever. Massage, what a great gift to give. Pedicure, pedicure is a fantastic gift. An aquarium or the museum. Practical gifts are one of the very, very best gifts that you can give someone. We ended up getting a bit of Christmas money last year, and my husband and I pooled it together. We got gift from like parents and grandparents and all of that. And we ended up buying our beloved Grogu bot, which is our iRobot. Now he at first was like, I don't know, this is kind of gimmicky. And I was like, no, this is such an awesome thing. And it is good. He just goes around, he vacuums. I turn him onto the kitchen most days and then I can like do a quick wipe. It's awesome. So that's a good practical gift. Somebody else once said they got a garden shed, which is a really good gift. How nice to have a spot to put things. Like, wow, that is a really nice gift. Fencing. Somebody got once. Somebody once got a new bed. That's a great idea. If you're somebody who knows somebody who needs a bed and you have the money to buy one, how nice. Pillows. If you have a favorite kind of pillow and you give it to somebody, they will be very happy. A shop vac, someone said they got once. How nice. If you know somebody needs something and you get it for them, that is a really, really good gift to give them. My friend once got pepper spray from her husband because she runs in an area with bears and cougars. And then he gave her a pop-up shelter a couple of years later for their new Volkswagen van. So isn't that a good one too? She's like, this man knows me. Like, some people might think those are terrible gifts. They're awesome gifts. They're useful gifts. People want useful gifts. Garden gloves. If somebody gave me garden gloves, I would be very happy. A 10-foot phone charger. That's a nice one too. New towels or throw blankets. Nice things to give people. It's really nice to give people candles, especially if you know what scent they like. So be careful on that one. Bubble baths, Lush bath bombs. They're super fun. We gave our son some Lush bath bombs. Actually, most years they end up in the stockings. They're a really good gift to give. The thing is, once they're gone, they are gone. Artisanal bar soaps, those are really good as well. And books. Books are such a nice gift to give people because they can donate them after, they can lend them to people, you know, they don't take up a lot of space, whatever. Books are great. A journal is a great gift to give people because then they can write down their many thoughts. When they are decluttering, they can write down their memories and declutter the item. Plants are a really good gift too, especially if you know somebody has the space. They don't have too many plants because some people, they will have too many plants and some people feel really, really bad decluttering plants. So you need to be careful on that one. Body and bath items. So a nice lotion, something like that. It's really nice if you can get people things that they won't buy for themselves. And also locally made things are really nice. And one of my coworkers last year, her and her husband bought themselves some sea soil, which is like really good quality garden soil that is made from, I can't remember if it's made from fish or seaweed, but it's a really good soil. So they went in on that together, which I think is a really good idea. Now, one of the best things to give people is food. One year, my husband got a box of sausages from my mom. He still says that was one of the best gifts he ever got. It was like a bunch of salamis and things like that. So it was great. He would get it out. We would have crackers and cheese with it and capers. Such a good gift. Another one that's really good is baked goodies. So I like to make goodies and give them to my mom and my mother-in-law, all of those people. Good quality coffee, that's a really good one too. Of course, tea, you know I love David's tea. Check the link below for a link It's an affiliate link because you know I drink so much of it. I was like, I really should have an affiliate link. And now I do. So if you want some really good David's tea, click that. Cheese. Cheese is such a great gift to give people. I love it. If you can just make a little basket with like cheese and nuts and all of that, so good. Organic satsumas, somebody recommended. I think that's really good. You know, back in the, olden days, like centuries past, good fruit was a really good gift to give. Cookies, nice cookies. If you made them, if you bought them, whatever, such a good gift. Quality hot chocolate. I will often get some really good hot chocolate and it will somehow find its way into my kids' Christmas stocking. And of course, wine. Wine is a really good gift to give. And what's really nice is if they don't like it, they can just gift it to somebody else. Homemade things are really nice too. One of the people commented that they like to make handmade cards because their love language is words of affirmation. So they love to receive them and they love to give them. Somebody else says that she makes cloth napkins, which I think again is just so nice. Anything handmade, lovely. Money or gift cards. Money or gift cards are such a good thing. Like I said, my husband and I, we used ours to buy our lovely Grogu bot. A spa gift card is always really, really nice so people can get a pedicure or get their hair done or whatever. Restaurant gift cards. I love restaurant gift cards. Such a good gift for kids is movie tickets, and if you gave them like a little pack of Smarties or something, that would be good. A gift card to Target, always good. And a subscription to something, like even if it was to like Netflix or something, I think that's good. A nice makeup gift card so somebody can head into Sephora or Lush or whatever, get themselves the stuff that they want. It's nice when people can pick out stuff. And I've known some people have said that they feel like gift cards are not personal. I think they're great. Hair products, be careful with that one because if you have frizzy hair like me, you can't use much. And of course, clothing stores are a good one too. Somebody else recommended spay neuter certificates in her name. Another person said a gift or donate to charity in their name. That's a really nice one too. Let's make stockings the best part of Christmas morning instead of the part that causes so much stress and so much clutter. Now, if there's one thing that can add a ton of clutter and a ton of shite to your house, that would be the clutter that can come from a Christmas stocking. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. That used to be me. I used to go to the dollar store, just load up on stuff just to fill my stockings with, which was so silly. So now I make sure they're either meaningful, useful, or consumable. Now in my family, we shop for everybody from newborns up to my grandparents. So I've got ideas for everybody. We gotta help Santa out, right? And please share below what your favorite things to put in stockings are because I love to hear great stocking stuffer ideas and I know everybody else does too. So if there's one thing I bet you're familiar with in the Christmas stocking for food, that would be the orange, a mandarin orange. It's the perfect thing to put in the bottom of the toe of the stocking. It works out really well. Good healthy hit of sugar before all the rest of the sugar comes for the rest of the day. And speaking of sugar for the rest of the day, let's talk about chocolate. Now chocolate is a staple for almost everybody's stocking. It's not mandatory, but it sure is delicious and helpful. So I like to put in M&Ms. We've got some stuff from Purdy's coming. I'm gonna throw that in there. You know I like me a Lindor. Chocolate mint cookie. So after chocolate, I like to put in favorite candies. And that goes for adults too. Now these are Jelly Tots. You might be familiar with these from your own childhood. My husband and I both grew up with them, so it's a fun little thing for us to put in our own. So we put one of these in each of our own stockings. Next, I like to put in like a snowball, the delicious Scottish snowballs because he's Scottish and they're yummy. And throw in some of your kids' favorite candies too. Not too much, of course, because there's so much sugar that day, but a little bit is yummy. And some nuts are certainly a healthier treat and they're pretty tasty, especially the adults like those. So I put those in mine, my husband's, my mom's. And don't mind the sound of the chainsaw in the background. That's just my husband getting more firewood and I am not minding the view, if you know what I'm talking about. Now I also like to get yummy drinks to put inside or just put outside of the stocking. So I've got this for my mom. This is like the French vanilla and hot chocolate for one of the kids. And no, we're not sponsored by Tim Hortons, we're just Canadian. I like the Silly Cow hot chocolates. This is a chocolate ginger snap. These ones are super yummy too, so I like to give these for the kids. Now the next item, which, you know, I hate to use the term filler, but they are called stocking stuffers, so it's clothing. Now throughout the year, you know, there may be holes in underwear, kids' socks may be getting filthy and starting to crawl away, Or maybe you've got kids that are growing and they need more socks and underwear. It's a good filler, you know, just roll them up, stick them in there. The kids are basically gonna just throw them aside, but still, it's a great way to give them the things that they need. There's also some really fun things that you can find online. I found these great Star Wars socks on Amazon, so I'll link those below. And there's some other great ones on there for kids too that are really cute as well. You can even get a baby some of those cute little Robyn slippers my kids had. They were adorable. And in the wintertime, often in the past, we have like got out all of our winter stuff and realized we could only find one glove of a certain set. So it's a good opportunity to put in like a new winter hat, some gloves, some mittens, scarf, stuff like that. Again, it's good stuffing, but it also takes care of some chores you need to get done. Now on to miscellaneous. Miscellaneous is where you can have a little bit of fun, aside from, you know, like the fun socks and maybe like the yummy candy, the fun candy and stuff like that. But the teenagers in particular, they need some help with the hygiene. I've got 3 lads at home, and let me tell you, yeah, they need a little bit of help. So it's a good time. You could get them like a little bath scrubber. Each of my kids is getting one of these this year. Good idea. Get them started on some skincare. Nice little stocking stuffer there. Again, they're gonna be like, Mom. Now, when it comes to stocking stuffers, I do my own stocking for the most part. My mom or my husband might throw something in. I also do my mom's and my husband's and everybody else's, which I like. This is a delicious body wash. It is Lord of Misrule from Lush. Their stuff is a little expensive, so I don't really buy it very often, but I do buy one of these every year, and it actually lasts a full year. It says it expires after like, I don't know, 8 months, but I'm using stuff from last year. It's so good. So this is my stocking stuffer for this year, and I can use it next year. And what's nice is all December, my husband and I are smelling like delicious Christmas yummy candles, and it's pretty nice. I also like to put a hand cream in, which, you know, I'm not normally gonna buy a Beta hand cream, but it smells so good. And you could put that in your husband's. You could get like a nice foot one, or for your mom or your daughter or your sons, whatever. It's nice to just sort of like have those little bits of hygiene items. A nice little Christmas ornament is always nice wrapped up. You can put it in there, write the year on the back of it, and your kids, they can take it with them to their own Christmas trees. When they grow up, you can hang it on your own tree. In the meantime, I really like the idea of a Christmas ornament because, again, it's not adding clutter. It's something that you will use only once a year. I think this is a great one. For a baby, you could get like a teething ring or something like that. Anything that is sort of like useful baby-wise, and you know, it's fun. We want to give babies things, but they're kind of hard to buy for. Another thing that's fun is like a game, like Uno or anything else. This is small, it's nice, it fits right in the stocking. Even like a deck of cards. Last week I did a video on gift buying, and I mentioned that for kids, I always like to buy books. And now this is the place where usually they get their books. I like to set them right behind the stocking when I put it out. This, you know, mountain bike magazine, this will be a good one for my teenage son because he really likes mountain biking. And you know, I could put in like a novel or something as well. This is for Mama, that would be me, the seed catalog. This is like a $13 catalog, but it has everything. I can't wait. My favorite hobby on January 1st is to look at seed catalogs. So for more Christmas ideas, click here, and this video here is all of my Christmas playlists, including decorating, Christmas organization, all that fun stuff. So I think you're gonna like it. Now please comment below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.